Well, hey everyone, welcome back to Wildwoods Honeybee Farms. And tonight, I decided I'd do my live stream tonight, and I was kind of thinking if I was going to or not, and I decided I would because I had it scheduled, and I decided I would. And I do have a couple topics to talk about tonight. I do see a lot of people in here tonight, so I appreciate you guys joining in and spending the time watching tonight. I really do appreciate it. We haven't really been doing much lately, but what we have been doing is we've just been really cleaning up and doing what we've been doing. But the reason why I want to do this live stream tonight is because I think everybody, no matter where you're located, has been seeing some, I would say, signs of a early spring, and that's what we hope. I know a lot of beekeepers up north are still, in cold weather. Down here today, it was around like 60 degrees for the high, so it was decently pleasant. It wasn't the warmest. I didn't do any beekeeping inspections because today it was wet and mostly gloomy for half of the afternoon. But we did get some sun and some warmer weather later on this evening. It was a very, very nice day today, so it was good about that. And tomorrow we're going to be going out to the bee yard and doing some things. So I'll probably try to do some videos. I need to take out some of my old feed, like a lot of the old candy that's in the hives, and I need to put some sugar water in there so I can just kind of start making sure that they're raising brood and some things like that. And I've been officiating. I've been doing a lot of different things, thinking about plans for this year. So we'll talk a little bit about that, about final plans. What are the plans for this year, and what we're going to be trying to accomplish this year. And we've been doing a lot of different things as well. So I'm really looking forward to tomorrow because this whole weekend, like especially Sunday, Saturday it was nice. I didn't do any bees Saturday, but Sunday it wasn't really pleasant. It was raining. It really wasn't a uh, good day to do anything for bees because it was very soggy because earlier that day on Sunday it was raining. It rained for at least 7 hours or something. So we weren't able to do anything Sunday. Unfortunate. And um, today we didn't do any bees either because I was going to wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow's supposed to be sunny and maybe partly cloudy, so that'll be a good day to do that. And we'll do other things too. We also got some things planned for the future. I've talked about guests and stuff like that, so we'll talk about some of the future things that's going to be happening. Actually, next week we do have a special guest. Next week, actually, we do, and I've been trying to make sure we even everything is in plan and everything's official. So I think it is official. So next week we'll be having a special guest. I'll inform you guys on who it is in a little while. And once more people come in here, so people will know to join in next Monday night at 7 p.m. Central. I guess I've been getting more on a roll on trying to do these every Monday night. I've been wanting to get to a better schedule on doing these more often because the more often I'll do it, the more you guys will know that I'm going to be doing it because I used to be iffy, and I really want to get to a point where you guys know that I'm going to be going live on Monday nights. So we'll try to work that in as well. And then we'll get more to spring once we get more into late February and some of those things. So it'll be fun there too. And we'll have a good spring. I hope everybody does have a good season. By the way, I think everybody will. I think everybody will have a decently good season. I hope. I hope we here have a good season. There's a lot of different things this year. I hope we can do different than we did last year because there's a lot of things that last year that we learned from that we weren't able to really do too well. Like combating beetles. Beetles were an issue last year. They were a terrible issue last year, and we weren't able to deal with them effectively. So this year we're gonna get some paper towels, like Dixie paper towels. I've mentioned those all the time. You guys probably know, and I'm gonna try to get some of those and use those for combating mites. And I also am gonna try and use some peppermint. So we'll see how that goes. Let us know, everybody, where you are from. You guys know the drill. Just go and let us know where you're from so everybody will know um, where everybody who watches the lives are from. If people who don't know, I'm from Southeast Alabama, and it's been warm weather. And if you guys have any topics or any questions, please do feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and we'll get to those too. And I really don't know if anybody's really been doing anything lately. I don't know if anybody has been doing anything lately. The only thing I do know that I've been planning to do things lately. But I wanted to get out to be Sunday, and I was thinking about if I should or not. But and then it just look at the forecast. I looked at the forecast Saturday, and Saturday I was just doing a lot of cleaning up. Honestly, I was just doing that, try to get things set up for spring, so then we could get into the part where we can start getting ready for the season. I see we have a lot of beekeepers in here. We have JP, we have Thomas from Northwest Maine. I think that's where that's from, or Minnesota, or Maine. I think it's Maine. And we got JP in here. Good to see you, JP. I think from France. Rick Warner. Good to see you in here, and thank you for jumping in too, Michael. We Tim and Hannah were in here earlier. Ron, a good support of the channel. Russell too. We also got Ed. There's Ed. I see Ed in there. Good to see you in there too. In Dothan, Alabama. And it's good to see everybody in here. I really do appreciate everybody really taking the time to come in here and listen, because I'll try to listen to as many live streams as I can, because I think there's a lot of different chats go on. Like I think on Tuesday it's Bob and Lee's. On Wednesday it's the stream team. There you go. We got DC in there. On Thursday, I don't know who really goes live on Thursday. I think sometimes Brad will go live on Thursday, and then Friday you got Son of Charlie. He'll go live on Friday. Then Saturday, sometimes I'll see Ed, Son of One, go live on Saturdays. I like to watch those too. We have Short Pants Bee Farm. Good to see you there. And I think that's all for time being. I'll try to greet everybody as everybody comes in, because there's a lot of people who come in and I can't read the chat so fast. The chat goes by so fast and time goes by quick, and I can't read all the comments and stuff. So, I do appreciate everybody jumping in. I can't really say enough. All I can say is really thank you guys for jumping in. And I see we got Mike. Mike, Bob's live 8 days a week. Oh, that's funny. But, it's rain. It rained yesterday. And earlier today, if you guys didn't hear me mention, it was actually a little foggy and kind of gloomy day earlier in the day today. And later on the day, it actually started to get a little sunny, so that's good too. Excuse me. But like I said earlier, everybody's seeing a little bit of signs of spring being early. And if you follow on second, I think that was at least 3 days ago. And I didn't keep up with it live or anything. Just my brother came out and said that the groundhog said it was early spring. If you guys keep up with that, now a lot of times I will I look it up, and sometimes whenever it's that day, Groundhog Day was on the 2nd of February. And you can always, I wouldn't say rely on that to be precise, but I do believe that we are going to have a early spring. The reason is just because the bees have been flying. I'm looking at the temperatures. Hey, I'll look at them real quick. You guys let me know what your temperatures are in your area, so I'll kind of have an idea of what do that. I've been trying to keep Saturdays at 7 or at whatever. And see. Oh, I get you. And sometimes I try to do that. Now, if you guys let me know your temperatures in the comment section below. But Ed has been going live on Saturday. So if you don't know who Ed is, just go check out his channel. I get you, DC. So today the high was actually like around 58 degrees. And tomorrow is actually, the reason why I plan on doing it tomorrow for inspections and stuff like that is actually because tomorrow's going to be like 65 degrees. And you guys know me, I like to do it on 65 degrees and stuff like that. It's, I really like doing it on that day, on those warmer days. Today, don't get me wrong, today was a warm day. It was nice. I could have inspected house, but I just decided I wouldn't. And, we've just been busy today too. And Wednesday we're supposed to be 63, so that's a good temperature-wise too, 66, 69. And look, the temperatures I'm saying right now, like 66, 65, those are spring temperatures. And this weekend, it's supposed to be around like in the 70s. But the problem about this coming up weekend is we have rain. And look, I'm gonna be honest for us, our weather down here, and that a lot of times on the weeks we have very nice sunny days. We have very nice warm days. And then here comes the weekend. We want to do things with the bees, right? Everybody wants to do things on the weekend most times. And look, I have time during the week to do hive inspections and stuff like that. But a lot of times I like to do things on weekends too. I have time on weekends too. But then every time I looked at the radar or at the temperatures and the weather, it's supposed to be raining on the weekend. So I can't really like really do anything on the weekends because it's always raining. Saturday it's supposed to be a 58% chance of rain, and Sunday it's supposed to be a 76% chance of rain. And Monday it's going to be 58% chance of rain. So maybe it won't rain during a live stream. Hopefully not. But if you guys don't know, I'll mention it that next week, Monday, 7 p.m. Central, and this is the plan. If something happens, we have to postpone, or if we have to do something different, I will let you know. I always let everybody know if I'm gonna cancel or postpone. But next week we will be having a special guest. So next week we will be having John Hill from Hillco on the live stream. So I think that's gonna be very fun. A live stream. And if you guys don't know who John Hill is, he's the CEO of Hillco, and Hillco is just a good a company that makes a lot, like has extractors, a lot of other equipment that I'm probably not thinking of at the time being, but it is important for a beekeeper who's especially honey stuff. A lot of good things there. So we'll be having him on next week to talk about bees and whatever. So guys, if you are available, just join in on next week. We'll be having John on, and that's gonna be a fun time to talk about bees and different things. And I think that's gonna be a really good chat, and definitely. All right, let's see. I'm gonna try to get back to the comments. I see there's questions there too. We have Canera 65. Richard. Hey Richard. Watching. We are over in the 30s in Ohio. Mike. And a lot of our beekeepers. John's a nice guy, you over me, definitely. Oh, thank you, Thomas. And I really do appreciate your donation. I really do appreciate it. Let me read a comment though. It might not go below freezing tonight, hanging in mid-30s of the most week. Warmest Maine winter since the 1970s. Keep up the good work with your channel, Grayson. I use Hillco equipment. It's top notch, definitely. Thank you, Thomas, for your donation. We really do appreciate it. I can't say enough, but thank you. And yes, definitely. I never really mentioned the lows, did I? All I mentioned was the highs and how warm it was going to be, but the lows are supposed to be right above freezing, actually. So, look, I'm not like 37, 38. That's fine temperatures. That's going to be a good time and stuff. Minnesota, I'm sorry. Thomas, Minnesota. Vincent told me that, and I'm not really good with states and stuff. But the lows are going to be like 36 to 37, somewhere around there. It's going to be like very, very warm temperatures. Like at the highs, but the lows, it's not going to be bad. I know a lot of beekeepers will be, a lot of up northern beekeepers would love that temperature stuff. So, we'll see how that goes too, and see how everything does play out in that aspect of things. And when I talk about spring early, we're hoping spring can be early. I hope so. I hope it's going to be a good year this year, and I really hope it's not going to be like last year. That's just one thing I always think about every day when I think about, spring's to be early. I just hope that it's not going to be the same as last year. Let me move this light. Sometimes it reflects off my side of my face, and I think this one is doing the same. Give me a second. There we go. Very good. That looks a little bit better. Looks like each weekend. Yeah, definitely. And we'll see how temperatures play out. We'll see how all that stuff go. Oh, I missed a question here. JP, I have a question. When can we make queens? That's a really good question. And it really does depend on temperatures and depends where you live. But I really like to wait a little bit after when you see drones walking around. And the reason why I don't raise queens when I see drones walking around, like walking into hives, there's a good chance that those drones, are not mature enough to go out and mate. So I wait till, let's see here, we're in February, right? So I usually wait whenever I start experimenting with that stuff. And for other beekeepers, I would say probably around, for me, probably be mid March, maybe early March. Very probably early March is when I would start raising queens, because the main thing for queens is you want to make sure you have drones for that queen to mate with. If you don't have drones, that queen isn't going to make it. And if that queen stays in the hive for too long, then that queen will most likely will start laying drones only. So that's what you call a drone laying queen. I've had drone laying queen problems before, and they ain't really fun. Um, and what is your lows? Our lows down here is like in like the high 30s, around there, like 36, 38, like nowhere under freezing. So that's good. That's a good thing to not have. These temperatures that I have mentioned, like 65, those are spring temperatures. But what I really don't want is everything to start blooming, and then all of a sudden we get a really bad cold snap, and that's really just what I don't want. So we'll see. We'll try to make sure our bees have enough food for the rest of this month. So February, if you have warm weathers, enjoy it. Do things that you need to do with your bees. Just keep a eye out for those cold weathers. I've talked about these cold weathers will kill your bees, and they will. It's something to think about, something that you do need to be aware of, and I think that's really important for a beekeeper. But just enjoy the warm weather. Just keep a look on your forecast to make sure you're not going to have any cold snaps. If you do, just go to your bees and simply check them and make sure they have enough food, and that's really what I can suggest. And afraid getting warm so quick, probably killing frost will happen after everything blooms out, and that's what I'm afraid of too. And there's nothing we can really do about temperatures. But what we hope is that it won't get cold anymore. That's what I hope, and that's what really killed us last year. Really, I'm gonna be honest. That's really just what killed everything of our operations really last year. I think because beetle problems last year we were terrible. They were awful compared to different years. Look, down here you're always gonna have a beetle problem, but I've never had one that bad. And a lot of times those beetles will attack my small hives. Those are the ones that those beetles take advantage of, are those small hives. So we just gotta make sure we work with that and try to solve it. I see 24 people on here. Good to see you guys. If you guys are checking in and you're new, go on and subscribe. We're about to hit 1,400 subscribers, so that's I guess that's a milestone. I guess you could say. Here soon we'll be reaching 1,500, so that's gonna be a good milestone to hit. And we've hit a lot of milestones. We've hit 1,000 subscribers and different like that. But really, what those resemble and everything on the channel is really just a good community of beekeepers talking about bees. And this is what we really do, and this is what we do every Monday night. So if you're new here, really what I try to do is just chat about bees. Is really I just like to talk. I sometimes will go on different topics. Sometimes if you guys have topics, I'll talk about them. That's really what we do down here. And what I want for beekeepers who check into this channel, just comment in the section below and just kind of chat along with other beekeepers, ask questions, and have a good time. That's really what we um, focus on this beekeeping chat, and as long as getting guests on it too. But the question, I am in south of France, France definitely, and I don't really know some of the France. I know France is in Europe though. I just really don't know like if are y'all in a winter too in France, or are y'all um in a different temperature? Because I'm not I never really know a lot about different temperatures. So it's good to learn those different things. So I'm thinking that y'all probably be in winter. I really don't know, because a lot of times like in Australia they have different things going on there too. They have like a lot of different um their summers and their winters are different from ours, right? So it's a different little thing. So it's kind of interesting to say the least, that honestly. And that's what I really found that very interesting, very cool to have other beekeepers from all over the country. So it's really good to see some other beekeepers around, like in France and the UK. and a lot of these other beekeepers giving insights on what they do. Yes, it's winter. I thought it was winter. I thought it was in that time of winter. There's the Larimore Farms. Good to see you in there. We're doing good. Just talking about bees. It's really good to see you in there, Larimore. Um, and definitely really good. A lot of beekeepers in here. A lot of people who love to chat about bees. And I guess I never really mentioned it yet. And I'll go back. I'll go to a topic that I want to talk about my plans for this year, because there's a lot of different plans I plan on doing this year. I actually got some official plans that I plan on doing. Now, of course, I can't always keep those plans together because sometimes it does change. But when you go back to Queens, and I really didn't finish what I was going to say because I got sidetracked. Whenever you want to, raise queens, like I said, you just want to make sure that there's drones walking at least for a couple weeks. Wait till they're mature enough to go out and mate with your virgin queens that you hatch out or whatever. Whenever you do that, that's important. Whenever you do that, and here soon we're gonna raise queens this year too. That's my plan. But before we do that, we're gonna try to do some expansion in VR, and that goes into my plans. And one of my plans later on in the year, which I plan on doing it in May, maybe late May, somewhere around there, mid May, maybe even April if I get the chance to, or March or somewhere like that. But March and April, we're gonna be focusing on like getting some nukes and expanding. Plan on about getting maybe about 10 nukes or something, so we can fill back up our losses that we had, which was 2. So we have 4 halves right now for pretty decent halves. And but before we get into that, my objective is to honestly make all of our halves at RB yards strong, and that's what I really like to do. And this is something I want to do a little bit better this year, is to maintain strong halves, because last year I never really did that. For some reason, I couldn't get to the point where they were strong, or if they were strong, or they were kind of weak, and they would just get robbed out or something. And I didn't have the chance to let them grow a little bit. So that was unfortunate last year. So hopefully this year will be good. Hopefully this year we'll be able to sustain all our halves and make sure we're all strong and healthy. And do some treating this year. Do some different videos as well. I'll keep you guys updated. And have a good season, right? Excuse me. But that's really the plan. And around March and April, most probably April, we'll probably get about 10 halves. And what my plan is to do is put around 2 or 3 at our bee yard, our regular bee yard, so we can fill up the empty spots. So we will have that. I actually have 3 spots that are open that I can put there. So, and then the other 7 will actually go to my other bee yard as well. That's at the creek. And also, we have a little place there at the river that we also want to. We'll experiment with a lot of other bee yards once we get to that point. But start like kind of expanding different places. And the reason why I like to have different bee yards is because that bee yard over there will hold about maybe I'll probably hold about 7 halves or something like that. So I have about 2-3 spots open. I'll put over there, so that'll be good. And we'll see how that goes as well. And that's really just a plan, folks. And that's just really what we're kind of focusing on, is expansion. Better expansion this time, because our expansion last year just didn't really work out the way I really wanted it to. If you guys saw videos, I've talked about it. Mistakes and stuff happened in 2023, but 2024 should be a good year. Hey Sarah, good to see you in there, and I see there's Bruce down there. Good to see you too, Bruce. Appreciate you guys checking in. Definitely real talk to you, Bruce. How many? Let me see. How many livers can you cut from a hive? Let's see. How many can you cut from a beehive? Let me look at the other comments too. I wish I was in south of France. Carbonate, CR, and a meal by Babbitt. Something like that. That's cool. Interesting. Definitely. But really that's just what we're planning on doing once next year too. This coming up year in April, just to buy some nukes and do that. That'll be a really fun thing to experiment with. And really, like I said in just a second ago, I just really wanted to try to get like really strong halves. I think that's what everybody else really wants to do too, and be able to sustain it. And that's really just what I really want to do this year, because I wasn't really able to do that really last year. I had a lot of strong halves. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of halves that I went back and they're just wonderful. But I made that one mistake to split so hard to the point that it. And I also look back at those two frame splits I made. If you guys haven't seen the video, you guys can look it up. Two frame splits. I look at it and none of those made it. Even the original half because it started out unfortunately. And I look at that and I said, instead of doing the two splits, I probably would have been a little bit better off doing 5 frame splits and I would have had more maybe. But you can always look back at that and see that and kind of fix it in the future maybe. And I can't really change that, but it's something I can go back and look at and try to fix in the future. If I want to fix that and make sure I don't do that again. That's just something that I really want to get better at. And another thing that probably would have helped if I used mated queens. That might have been better too. I just left them like 4 weeks without a queen, and those 2 frames of bees, I didn't really give them much. I never really fed them. I never really did anything like that. So I didn't do it correctly. I didn't do it the way I should have. So that stuff happens if you don't um, do it the right way. Sometimes it come back at you, and that stuff happens. It happens all the time and stuff like that. If y'all are checking in, go on and smash the thumbs up button. That'll help us out a lot. And we do appreciate anybody who checks in and subscribes or whatever and likes the videos. We appreciate it. And really like that. That's really just what we're going to try to do this year. And that's what we're hoping to do. Later on this spring, I'm going to try to do some treating. And I really can't reach it right now because I'm going to have to now mess up everything. But I plan on trying to try out some Apigard this year as well. I actually do have 2 more Abivar strips that I will put out in a hive and try to do a little treating in spring and see how that works. We'll see how getting some mites gone and I'm treating now. That'll probably be good too. That will be a good thing to do. And we'll also treat with Abigard. I've treated once with Abigard, but I don't know if it really worked. I think it did work, but I just never really noticed anything. I want to start doing some testing. We got to do some tests here soon. If you guys haven't seen my recent video after this live stream, make sure to go check it out. I really do support and also really do feel that you guys should go check it out because it's a really good video. I recently uploaded a video about a lot of brood. It's called We Have Brood or something like that. Some kind of a title like that. My recent video. If you guys haven't seen it after this live stream, just go check it out and give it a like and see what you guys think about it. And you guys will kind of know what my strongest hive looks like. It's a really good hive. It has a lot of brood. Really, really good hive, and I really like the look of it. And it's doing a very, very good job. What we're doing, and we have a lot of pollen coming in. So the thing about pollen, that pollen's actually helping the bees be able to there's all that pollen that's coming in will stimulate that queen to lay, which is something that I want to happen down here. I know a lot of other beekeepers down here probably see the same thing. I really think it's probably dandelions because I know Tim down there, Tim and Hannah down there in Mobile, I think that's right. They are seeing some dandelions. I actually saw a picture of theirs on their community post, so that's good to see too. And I'm pretty sure we have some dandelions. I'm sure Ed up there in Dauphin and Bruce up there in Dauphin probably have the same thing too. So that's good to see. Be able to see some things blooming. But what we don't want, and what we've always talked about throughout February and January, is we don't want to have one of those we really don't want to have a cold snap come in at the very last moment. How many splits can you do? And JP, it really is a the word will come to me at some point, but it's just really personal preference. That's right. That's it. Personal preference on what beekeepers want to do. And look, I've learned from a lot of different things. And what I did once, and I did 2 frame splits, and I left in 4 weeks without a queen because I thought they would make their own queen, right? That didn't go well. And I would suggest nobody not really to try that. I should have never done that. And it's worked for me a couple times before. I had some good splits come out that way, but I keep putting brood in the hive, and I didn't have enough brood to put in that hive. I was burning out all my brood, because I had at least like 8 splits, or actually maybe 10 splits. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That would be about 10 splits, right? So, a personal preference, but in my opinion, I think you can do a lot of different splits. And if you're talking about number splits, you can do as many as you would like. In my opinion, as long as you can handle that, right? A lot of times, if you don't want to expand, making a lot of splits probably ain't really going to help that desire. But another thing, if you really don't want to expand anymore and you have all these bees, what you can do is you can sell some of the nukes and make a little profit out of that. That's a good way to pay back some of your other stuff that you invested in your bees. So that probably be something good too. So I think it's something that you can have as many as you'd like, and as many as you would desire. Are you thinking of trying any new splitting methods this season, Grayson? Ed tried an interesting one. Sorry, I can't think of the name or spell it. I get you. Sometimes I do see, I'm right there with you. Sometimes I'll think of something that there's like a method or something that I just can't spell it, so I just decide, all right, I'm not gonna say the name or anything. I'm not. I see Keith there. Hey Keith, good to see you. And DC, and that's a really good question. I actually do plan on trying some different things. I think that's gonna be something that I want to do. Probably try doing some good little splits. Ed will probably say what the splitting method's called. I'm kind of curious too on what that method is. Um, I'm trying to think of any of the methods, and whenever Ed, whenever you mention it, it'll probably come to the back of my head or something. And I am gonna try. I'm actually gonna take a couple like 5 frames or something, make like maybe 4 frame splits, or maybe even 5 frame splits. Take a hive and split it down the middle. We'll see about that too. And I may do that if my hives get over populated. That definitely gonna try that out. And um, I'm sure he does. I'm sure Ed has a couple of videos on that, on his method for splitting. Definitely, there's a lot of different methods out there. There's the Damari method. There's a lot of other methods too. Um, let's see. DC, did he recently upload that video? Because I keep up with a lot of beekeepers videos and stuff, and I can't always think of everything at the time because I'm trying to do a lot of different things. Um, Taranov split, something like that. Is that a DC? Because that was a recent video. Taranov, Taranov, something like that. I think that you definitely actually does. Split turn of ours. That I think that's it. I'm gonna have to watch that video and see what that's all about. And I know a lot of different things about beekeeping. There's some things that I haven't heard about too. And um, shake all the bees and out on a uh, kind of maybe it is somewhat like a walkaway split. I'm not really familiar with that method, but that's probably an interesting method. I gotta check that out and see. Do that. What do you do with the honey? Well, you can really do whatever you want with the honey. A lot of times, whenever you extract honey and do whatever you want to, you can sell it. You can be able to keep it yourself if you want to put it on toast or something. You can do that too. Sell it for money, and get a little money out of it, maybe a little income if you really want to make some money with it. And that's gonna be a little profit there. A lot of times, and you can give it to your friends if your friends like your honey. You can give it to them if you would like, or you can, like I said, keep it. There's a lot of different things you can do, but mainly a lot of beekeepers will sell it. And sometimes some beekeepers will use the honey for allergies and stuff. Sometimes they'll use it for burns and scabs and a lot of those different things to help them heal. Because one thing that is interesting, and you can go back, people can go back in books and stuff and see that a lot of times in the old days they'd use that for medicine. A lot of times, we have this cream, we have this stuff to help burns and stuff. They use honey for that because all the um ingredients in honey, it would help with that. It would help with coughs, and it will help with sore throat if you have that, or it'll help um if you have a burn. It'll also help if you have a little scratch. I've used it for that stuff too. It actually does work. I've used it before. Hey, you can even use it if bee stings you. I'm sure that will help you too. And that's definitely good. Let's see. Sometimes you guys can't see the whole thing when those comments come up. I tried flyback split last year, didn't like it. Went to check it, pulled 6 virgin queens out. Queens out. Good get few queens instead of grafting though. Definitely um that's pretty good, I would say. And I've been actually been trying to clean up a little bit. I've been trying to get my queen rearing stuff together. I got to make sure I can find all my stuff because it's been almost a year since I've um, used that stuff. So I got to make sure everything's organized and put up in a nice little place. So that's something that I have to do. And there's a lot of things that I do need to do before spring. So there's times where I want spring to come now. There's times where I'm like, I actually want it to come maybe in a month. So it'll come when it comes, and we'll be happy when I'll be happy when it does come. I hope we do have an early spring, but I do hope we have a couple more weeks to do things that we need to do to prepare for it. The queen and nurse bees walk into a box you put under a board propped up over it. All bees that fly go back to the original box. All right, I think I understand you there, Ed, and I can see what you mean there. That's actually a really interesting method. I'm gonna have to check those videos out and see how you do that on a video. A lot of times I really like to watch videos and stuff that to learn from different beekeepers and what they like to do. And I really found that whenever you do that, you'll learn something from any beekeeper, no matter where we're located. Um, Original boxes responsible to generate their own queen. I get you there. That's kind of resembles on whenever you do a walkway split, but it's a little different. I can see. When you go into walkway splits, basically what you'll do is a lot of times what you'll do is actually if you have a double deep, and this is a good way to explain it. What you'll do is you'll take to a double deep hive, and you'll take one box off with the queen and walk away with it. And the other hive will make a queen. They should have a lot of brood in there too. And a lot of the old bees from that box that you took away, you walked away with, a lot of those old bees will go back to your original hive. So your original hive will have nurse bees, and they also will have worker bees to do what they need to do. And while your other hive still has brood that you walked away with, and you have your nice little hive, and that comes out with about 2 hives, right? Let's see. I can't see if I missed anything. Weak splits that overcome the odds by rearing a lot of brood and then survive the winter, and up as great options for rearing queens to put in the brood farm. Definitely, I think that's a really good way to take it, and I agree with you there too, um, Thomas. See, I'm trying to see if I didn't miss anything. Definitely go on and sting or smash that like on the way in if y'all are checking in. I know I didn't miss anything. And try to get some good expansion going on here too. That's another thing. Like we're talking about earlier, really what we've really been talking about is trying to do that too, and try to combat beetles a little bit better. And I've actually been working also on channel stuff. I've been offering memberships too. I've been actually working on those too. There's one time where sometimes we'll offer memberships and stuff, and I was just I really hesitated to even put memberships up, to be honest, just because I didn't know really if I was going to do it. But I just decided I'd put them up, so I didn't see what hurt. So those are available. I worked on those for a while, a week ago actually. Also been trying to get guests on. If you guys haven't I know a lot of beekeepers weren't in here. We'll be having John Hill next week on when is that gonna be? That's gonna be the 12th. That's gonna be 12th at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll be going for an hour, as long as things stay the same. If there is something that doesn't work out, we'll have, maybe if we have to postpone it, I'll let you guys know, and we'll what we're planning for next week, we'll be having him on. That's gonna be a really fun live trip. I really believe it's gonna be a really good chat to join, and make sure you guys join that. Go on and put that on your calendar if you'd like. That'd be a very good live stream to do, and I'm really looking forward to that. And I also do have some other guys planned too. We haven't scheduled those yet. We haven't worked on schedules and stuff. I have a lot of different guests on that I would like to get on, that we're gonna have to start working on. Oh, definitely. It's been a while since I've had guests on. I just don't know what really started to not let me like not getting guests on. Um I was just trying to think of somebody to get on, somebody who would be a really good guest and teaching and stuff. And I just scrolled through some of my subscriptions, and I saw, hey, I should get John on there. That'd be a good chat. So we're gonna be having him on next week. I think that's gonna be a really good chat, really good person, a really good company that they have, Hillco. If you guys don't know Hillco, they are a beekeeping company that sells a lot of different beekeeping stuff. I'll call it. I'm sure they're probably at not Havelock. I'm sorry. They're probably at the North American Honeybee Expo and this year in 2024. They were there, I'm sure, and everybody pretty much, if you are a beekeeper for a while, you probably know who Hillco is, because they sell extractors, they sell heating tanks, they sell some of those good things, and they still come out with new things. So that's really cool. And that's gonna be, like I said, that's gonna be good chat, and you guys make sure you stay tuned for that. And like I said earlier, and last week as well, we have other guests planned, but I just haven't. It's not official yet, so we'll see when it's official. We'll announce it. I don't like to announce anything if it's not official, or if it's um. I've talked with the guy about the date, but if something happens that maybe maybe they can't get on or something, that guest or something, then I'll just say I'll postpone it or something, or I'll plan for a different date sometimes. And I don't like to. Like I said, I just like to announce when I'm having a guest on whenever I'm at least, I would say, 80% sure that it's gonna be on that date. But if it's not, sometimes it happens. Sometimes you can't help things. Sometimes whenever sometimes you have to replan for other days. But definitely just stay tuned for that. That'll be fun. Let's see. My regular splits are 3 brood and 2 food as usual. That's good. Always want to have some brood in there when you have a split. And whenever you make splits and things, you want to make sure you got brood in there, make sure you got food, make sure you got pollen. So that'll be good too. That's really good to have in your hives whenever you're trying to do that or raise queens. Hey Lee, good seeing you there. And we have more videos coming out here soon too. We're gonna have. I actually do have plans for some future videos once we get more into spring. So like update videos and stuff like that. That's gonna be fun. I'm already ready for it, and I know a lot of our beekeepers are too. And that's gonna be a good time when we get um into spring. That'll be a good time. Good to see you. Good night, Sarah. Good to see you in there. Um, but that's really just what we're doing, and we're trying to prepare, trying to make sure that everything that we have is ready, right? We just want to make sure that we are prepared. We want to make sure that we um have everything that we need set. That's what I've been trying to do. I've been trying to make sure all my stuff is in order, because a lot of my stuff was unorganized, very unorganized. I couldn't believe it. And then I was able to get it organized, a lot of my boxes and stuff out in B yard. I also do have plans to get some big, some decent size tubs and stuff to put my frames in, because I've been having a lot of wet frames that get like mildew on it. So what I need to do is I need to make sure I can keep my frames out of the weather. And you also, I just need to make sure that it doesn't have, it's not exposed to that. So, probably won't happen right away, but it'll happen this year. I'll make sure it happens whenever I get the time to do it. Um, but we're gonna try to do that too. We're gonna try to raise some queens. I don't know if I'm gonna sell any queens this year. I'm just gonna try it out. If I get a good batch and I get a lot of queens to the point where I need to start selling them, I'll let you guys know, and I'll probably sell them. Probably, I really want to get into that business. That's a really good business to be in if you're a beekeeper, and try to sell your queens if you want to. If you want to sell your queens, that's a very good way to make money and a good way to make some income out of them. And there's a market for virgin queens, or if you want to sell mated queens. I'm probably not going to sell mated queens because you have to have a lot of bees, and I just kind of just want to take it simple. And if I sell queens, I'll probably sell them as virgin queens. And I think there's a market for virgin queens. I think somewhat of a market. I don't know if they're as popular as mated queens, because then you could. And what would you take? Would you take a mated queen or virgin queen? Most likely, you take a mated queen, unless if you just want to get a virgin queen to if you want to get a virgin queen, maybe to get it cheaper or something like that. Uh, that's good, definitely. And that's just really what we're trying to do, right? That's what we're trying to get set. And it's really all we can really say, right? Until we get into the season where we have a lot more to talk about. And even though we are in the time that we are, that maybe we're going to be getting to spring, it's just, you know, you say the same things and hope for the same things, and then you get to a point where, those things just start getting bored of it. You know what I mean? But we'll have a lot more things to talk about, and we'll have a lot more things to discuss later on once we get more into spring and once we get more into the season. And then we'll go through spring. Then we'll go through July and August. Those are just going to be like, I really don't know if it's going to be bad, but I just feel like most of the years it's going to be like July and August is just like, that's the worst part of our drought. If I'm gonna be honest, that's a really bad part of it, and it's just, but we have to live with it, right? A lot of times we'll have droughts, and we'll have those times where we have to deal with the droughts and stuff like that. And whenever you get to the point where you get out of the drought, then you'll get into September and some of those different things. But I think we're going a little too far. I'm just kind of really focused on spring. After spring comes, we'll get into summer, and then we'll be done with that. And then before we know it, we'll be there. And that's something that also happens every time. Whenever you do something like right here, right now, this moment, then all of a sudden it's already summer, and you're like, wasn't just yesterday we're talking about like nothing, and then we get to a point, then we get into summer, and time does fly, and then you get to the point where you look back, wow, that's just something that I sometimes find interesting, and really interesting at the same time. I just really found that way. And that's really what there is. If you guys have any questions or any topics for the final 10 minutes of this live stream, go on and put them in, and we'll answer them, and we'll probably wrap it up here in 10 minutes, because we've been going for about 50 minutes. All right, we've been going for 50 minutes right now, so it's right on the dot, 50 minutes, so that's good. And even right now, I can't believe I've been talking for 50 minutes. That's just, that's really why I want to get guests on. Sometimes it can be very boring to talk, all by yourself. But a lot of times I do enjoy it. I enjoy speaking. I enjoy being on here. Honestly, I really do. But now it's gonna be a time where we actually get some guests on. That's gonna be fun too. It's gonna be a good time. We're gonna be able to talk about different topics, whether it be mites or whether it be coming up spring or whatever it be, all these other different things. But what we're seeing right now, we are seeing spring. And if you guys were wondering what we are seeing down here and what our forecast is and our spring, early spring forecast, I do see us having an early spring down here. Do I see us having a cold snap in February? I kind of do. I kind of, unfortunately, just, I just, um, really, I don't really want one. Honestly, I really just don't. I really hope that we don't. But I just, right now it's February, like 5th right now, isn't it? And it's just kind of hard to believe that February and it's already spring and it's not going to be any cold anymore. So maybe it won't be. Hopefully it won't be. But we're just going to kind of ride the wave and kind of go with it. But like I said, tomorrow we're going to be getting out to the yard some and trying to do some spring feeding. I'm going to try to make up some spring um, 1-to-1 sugar water along with some Apis Biologics. Also, some different things. Maybe put a little protein in there too and stir it up and put it on the beehives. And that's really what I want to do to try to boost up brood production. That will help us out a lot too. I'm not going to give them 1 gallon yet. I'll probably give them like a small, very small number, just so then we can start out with that. Then we'll maybe go on with a gallon of sugar water. I don't want them to be back full with nectar. I just want them to slowly take it in. That's really what I want. I really don't want them to take it in so fast, but I just want them to slowly take it in. Then at that point, maybe they'll start making a lot of more brood, right? And that's what we hope. And that's what we are going to do tomorrow. That's the plan to do. And go out there and see how they're doing. And take out some old candy and do that. That's just a objective to do, right? That's just what we're planning on doing as long as everything goes well. Plus tomorrow's supposed to be 65 degrees, so it should be a warm day to do it and a very good day to do it. Hope you guys can hear me okay because I have this mic here and it's kind of low down, so I don't know if you guys can hear me, but hopefully it's all right because sometimes I forget about mic stuff. I just talk and I don't know if it's inconvenient or anything, but definitely. Thanks, James. Definitely. Good talker. Be watching. Thanks, Richard. I do appreciate you. I really do appreciate the support and everybody who joins in. Definitely. And like I said earlier, and like I always say, and I'll always say it, that really what we do here is what I think everybody really likes to do is just really talk about bees and really talk about what everybody else is doing and what their plans are to do. That's really what my plans are to do is just to get some nukes, do some expansion. Tomorrow we'll do some things too, and we're hoping to have a good season. That's just our plan. And a lot of other things that I'm not mentioning right now, but we're gonna see how that is. And going to be 78 Fahrenheit the end of this week here. That's gonna be really warm, very warm. It's gonna be around like 73 degrees, 72 degrees coming up at the end of the week. And this weekend's supposed to be in the 70s, but it's going to be raining. So we get to look forward to rain the weekend. So we'll see how that works out. And that's really all there is to really say, right? That's just what we're going to do. And like I was about to say, and I really do appreciate everybody jumping on in here and talking and joining in and taking the time to join in. It's really appreciated, and I really do appreciate everybody who does subscribe or leave a like or join a membership or whatever, or if you donate something, I really do appreciate it. I really do appreciate the support people put out there on this channel. And after we get done here in a second, go on and check out my recent video and go on and give it a thumbs up too. I really would appreciate it. Because it's a really good video. And if you guys are really wondering what my brood looks like, that will give you a really good idea. It looks really good, just unbelievable. And definitely. Private chat, Vincent. This is a good question. This is from Vincent, by the way. In only 10 words, give the best advice to new beekeepers. I don't know if I can say it in 10 words, but one of the advice I would give to a new beekeeper is really not to give up, really, just not to give up and keep going for it. And that's really what I'd say, because a lot of times beekeepers get depressed and they get depressed, new beekeepers, and they just end up quitting. And you never know where you're going to be in the future. So just keep going at it, and you'll get to that certain time and be um, high up there on where you want to be. Thank you, Mike. Or I mean, Ron, for checking in. I really do appreciate you. Ron's a good supporter of the channel, and I really do appreciate him joining in live chat to listen to us talk and in the comment section below. So I appreciate you. Good night to you too. And if you guys have any final questions, I'll answer them. But really, that's all there is for tonight. And I really do appreciate your guys' time, because a lot of times it's hard to be on live streams all the time. And you know I really do appreciate it, and it really is appreciated that people come on here and um be able to give their support and talk about bees or whatever topics you like to talk about. And that's what we are all about on this beekeeping community, right? And that's just what we're always focused on to do, and that's what we've always been focused on to do, is I try to give good information. I try to give information. I also try to teach a little bit, but I also really try to learn from other beekeepers on this chat. I don't really just take for myself. I also just try to or give to everybody, but I also really like to take in everybody's comments and what they are doing and what their plans are to do and what they like to do, because no matter what, you can always learn from a beekeeper no matter where we're located. But like what I've always said, and you guys will know this quote is, whenever you can do, no matter where we're at, no matter what part of the country we're at, you can take something and you can customize it, put some different screws and bolts on it, and change it to fit your needs, right? Change it to fit your needs and what you need to do. So I could take something from up in Canada from a beekeeper, like maybe Ian Stepler or Brad up there, and customize it and kind of change some different things, put some new bolts on it, put some new screws in it that will fit, and then I can use it for myself and it will work. And that's just what I really um I've always talked about, right? And this is what I think that it's very important to think about whenever you're a beekeeper and you want to do that. And just really really good. But I think we're about to go on and wrap this thing up. I appreciate everybody jumping in here. Go on and smash the thumbs up button if you haven't already. If you have, I appreciate you. And I've said this a couple times, and I'll say this the final time I'll say it. Go on and check out my recent video. I've mentioned it. Go on and just check it out and see what you think about it. Comment it and end that video and let me know what you think about it and what you think about spring, and let me know your thoughts on the brood patterns and the queens and stuff like that, and what you see in that video. But that's all for tonight's live stream. I appreciate it, and I really do appreciate the support. And we'll catch you guys on the next beekeeping video. And take care, everybody, and we'll see you next time.